Production crew, please let me know if they can hear me. Have we gotten any feedbacks? 111 and so on. Yes, fantastic. Okay, yeah. So we're starting with the very first one, the bliss and the blisters of being single. So once again, welcome to Common Sense for Relationships. Like you can see, I am not alone on set. With me is Mr. Kingsley.
Yes, my name is Kingsley.
Why did you jump in? You don't want me to add the surname. Anyway, don't worry.
If you understand,
I'm checking if it's a case of management and protection of information and so on. Anyway, you are welcome. We're happy to have you here. It's been a while, and those who have been regulars on the show, or those who are regulars on the show, will know that KJ is not a new face here. By the special grace of God. So he starts for us on a few occasions when we were stuck in traffic or some crazy thing going on somewhere. Yes, so but it's great to have you on set with us today. And we will also be joined by my darling husband, Mr. Kingsley Bature, so there are two Kingsleys on the show today. And that will be awesome. Okay, so the bliss and the blisters. Today, do you know what his role is on the show? His role is to represent who?
The singles.
Yes, the singles. Because we don't want to assume that we know what's going on in you people's space. It's been 15 years, almost 16. So it just might be that we're out of touch. But to make sure you guys are well covered, singles, we have with us Kingsley Epiel Asupo. So he's going to give us the view of life, or the view on life as a single, the view on life these days, because sometimes when you're talking, they'll tell you things have changed. It's not the way it used to be in your time. Sometimes they make it sound like we are dinosaurs or something, as if in fact we are so old that we're no longer in touch with the reality of being single. Quote. So we will see how far from our time you people have gone. So if you say something that is really strange, I would do well to express my shock. And if at the end of the day, nothing is odd, then you can no longer come and tell me when I'm saying something that, hey, it was not like that. You people's time is different from ours. Please help me turn this so that IG people will be seeing you well until such a time as we need to change the view. Do we have a deal?
Yes, sure.
If I am shocked, I will express it. If there's nothing to be shocked about, then you have no excuses going forward.
I think you'll be shocked.
You think? Okay.
I think.
Let's see. Okay, guys. So let us know where you're joining us from, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you are outside. And if you have not yet liked this program, please like when you hear something interesting, share. Because there are people out there who need this information. And if you know some of them, please do well to send the link to them. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for?
Just hit the button.
Yes. Red. It's red so that you can see clearly. Please subscribe. So follow us on IG if you're on IG, on Facebook, follow, on YouTube, subscribe. Yes, let's engage. And do that so that you don't miss out on anything we do. Whenever we come up with new stuff, you will be one of the first to know. Okay. All right. So at this point, I am going to ask you. Let me start with you. You are single, right?
I'm not married.
Wait. Did you? I said you are single. He said I'm not married. You see, I think this is the first problem with singles today. They are complicated.
Write that down.
Yes? Complicated. They are ambiguous.
You can say that.
Because I said, are you single? You said I'm not married. Please, follow me here, this thing. So can you tell me what it means to be single versus what it means to be not married? So help me talk about the difference between the two.
It's simple as it sounds. You're not married. You're single simply means you're not married. Okay.
But There's an additional qualification.
You are just single, you are not married.
Because if you are not married, it just means you are not married.
You are not married.
But you may not be completely single.
Okay.
Because so is this
how do you define being single?
I'm trying to draw parallels now. Is this a case of single and searching and single and not searching and single and unavailable and single and, do you understand?
Okay. You're single.
Yes.
If I want to say being official, being official. You're single simply means when you're filling the form, you are asked single or married. Do you understand? There's nowhere where it's written single, dating, or married, or single. You're just single or you're married. So legally, I am very single. I'm not married.
Okay.
If I am singlet.
Okay, okay.
All
right. So if I say, are you single? You can answer yes.
Definitely.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's cool. Thank you very much. At least we have established the baseline. Kingsley is single and he is not married, in case you choose the other description. So while we wait, I will just go through some of the comments here.
Okay.
And Basti Joseph, hey Joe, hey, I think I know this person. Joe Basti, what a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today on the show. He says being single isn't that bad and is not also good. So Joe, I see that you're getting into the comparisons between pros and cons. We are going to get there. Thank you so much for these early comments. He also said being single is not that bad and not also good. Since you're not seeing who is fit for you, it's better to stay off than to get yourself hurt. So this is Joe giving us some early advice. Rather than say, in the name of I don't want to be single, you're now going to enter fire or you put yourself in a difficult situation. Joe is advising it's better to stay off than get yourself hurt. Debbie says, good evening. Hi, Debbie. It's good to see you. And Anietie Emmanuel says, being single isn't really bad, but having a loving partner is a gift from God. Wow. Huh. Did you see how you put it?
Yes.
Having a loving partner is a gift from God. Do you have to say, you want to say anything about that?
Well, the thing is, having a loving partner these days, which is a gift from God, like you said, is proving to be very difficult in this our time. I have to be very. I'm going to say it the way it is. Okay.
Proving difficult.
It's proving difficult. So in those days.
In those days.
In your time.
In our time.
It was pretty easy. I mean.
You're really working easy.
No. It was pretty straightforward. Go to church, you see a good sister, committed sister, dedicated to the things of God. You know, it was genuine, basically. Do you understand? And you can get a wife, you can get a husband. Do you understand? Christianity was in its rawest form, I should use the word. But you see, right now, you can't just go into a church. You can't just go to the church and hope to see a sister.
Okay. Wait, so what you're saying is that the places that were typically known to be locations where you would find a certain kind of lady or guy that's good people, well-mannered, good values, and so on. Nice history, no complexities, no skeletons in the cupboard. You're saying that you may go there and then you
won't. In fact, right now, let me tell you the truth. Right now, it's like the tables have been turned. So you can even go to the church and pick up a knife rather than a wife. Seriously, and you can still go to the club and see a wife rather than a knife. In these days, I'm being very real here.
Okay, so this knife and wife comparison sounds cool. You know, like what do you have? A knife for a wife.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So people have to look well when they are getting in touch, when they are making connections. Am I hooking up with a knife or a potential wife?
You see why it's difficult now?
Why?
You see why? Like I said earlier, it was pretty straightforward. Those days, it was assumed that if you go to the club or bar, you most likely won't get a good wife or husband. You know, most likely. And if you go to the church, you go to certain places, chances are that you will see a wife or a good husband. Do you understand? But the whole thing has changed now. Rather than just going to church, you now have to go to the church and still pray again. And like, Father, even as I enter this church,
help me.
I see, because you can still go to church and pick a woman beater. You get? You can still go to church and pick a woman that is not Proverbs 31. I'm not trying to sound churchy. Anyways.
I understand.
You get? So it's no longer straightforward as it were. Right now, people are now spreading their nets. If it is in the church, I find good. If it's outside, I find good.
Okay.
The church is really not guaranteeing anything anymore.
All right. So more like you're saying that when it's time to search, you can't just. It's not it's not hard and fast. It's not like this is how it is. Go here, you will find this.
Yes.
You now have to have other skills. So in other words, you need a little more expertise, or you need some more skills, tools that will help you find the right person.
Yes.
It's not as simple as go to church, find a girl, go to church, find a guy, you'll be okay. More like the chance of success was higher before than now.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
That's why people got married back then. God bless you.
So you are saying better skills required. Okay. To find the right person. Interesting. Oh, this is cool. Okay, I see that we have on set now the one and only Mr. Bature, you are welcome.
I never ready for now.
Okay, all right.
They put my mind when I want to ask KJ, but when
okay, so there's a burning issue on your mind. I will soon get to it. Okay, that's fine. So let's see. Let's keep going. Let's see. Kingsley E or King E, sorry, King E says being single while grinding is actually worth it. There are actually people who can't live without dating, and that's not nice. So being single while grinding. So if this grind now, when I hear grind, this game that comes to my mind, though, because of some people in this house. But Kingsley, thank you for sharing, or King, thank you for sharing. I guess grind for you. If you want to say more, you can. But I guess grind will be more like working hard, the hustle, trying to settle down, trying to, what else?
It means flexing. Flexing like you're enjoying your life.
Yeah, enjoying.
You're enjoying your
Is
life.
this an ambiguous answer?
You see, some of the words we use have different meaning. So grinding can be hustle, grinding can be, you are flexing, you're enjoying, you're comfortable, you're having the peace of your life.
Flexing. What does flexing mean? Flexibility. Okay. All right. Let's see. So, Queen Debbie says, I'm single and enjoying building capacity while at it. Oh, fantastic. Building capacity. Thanks, Debbie. Sam says, this correlation is interesting. Okay. Thank you, Sam. And then Utibakun says, being single isn't bad and also not good. But getting the right partner is always great. Fantastic. Okay. So, grinding, flexing, you're using a lot of terminologies, and I guess that's part of the problem with being single these days. Complexity. We already said complicated. Now I'm going to add complexity, because if I'm to go by how you are responding, you people don't shoot, should I say shoot straight, or people don't do simple, plain, easily understandable talk like, how are you? Fine. Assuming. I think that if I ask the average single person now, from how you are responding, how are you? The answer is likely going to be something that is not as simple as fine.
Right. We're good.
like you're good, and then because I am asking about what grind means, and then grind means so many different things. Please help me turn this a bit to face up. So if grind means this way, so if grind means so many different things, that means that we have to be very careful when or you guys have to be very careful when you're communicating, because you may say one thing and you mean one thing while the other person thinks you mean another thing.
We do understand ourselves. If there's anyone that will have a problem understanding, is the older generation.
Oh.
But for the youngest, once they just use a word, they just are like everybody understands.
Everybody understands, and the context is not a problem. Everybody gets it. Interesting. Okay, good to know. So when you say like I feel you, what does it mean?
I feel you means I'm feeling you, like I dig you.
Wow. So I feel you doesn't mean I understand.
It means I understand too.
Wow. Okay. Okay. All right, everyone. I think it's a good time for us to dive into the meat of our subject today. And Mr. Bature, you are welcome to the bliss and the blisters of being single. So we often hear people say, you know what, this singleness is, you know, how you hear God when.
God,
Almost as if
that's the new one. Yes, I posted something on my status. You know, I don't know if you guys noticed that I have a new haircut. Yes, let me tell you.
A new scattered haircut.
Yes. Let me tell you the story of this haircut. The story of the haircut is that for those of you that are single, nobody needs to tell you that you should do anything you don't want to do. If you do it, it's because you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. But this one, since you're talking about being single, I'm not a single anymore. So there are some people that want to control your life. Yes.
That's the beauty of being single.
So you talk about the freedom, right? The flexibility, you know. So when they want to control your life, you have to go and cut your hair. Like you don't want to cut. But you know, as a wise guy, just so that they won't feel like they won. And we're not calling any names, right?
Anonymous.
So that they won't feel like they won. We just decide to, since just after barbing the hair, we'll not scatter it. I'll carry it like that. So
and that's what, like this one that is sticking out now.
Yes, it's part of the whole idea. It's just scatter it.
I'm supposed to like put it inside.
That's this you can see KJ is looking down. KJ, that's part of the blisters of being single. Nobody is telling you that you're something sticking.
Some of these things we know that we are single.
So when I did a post, talking about this whole issue, somebody was like, God, are we stoned? He said, no, you're not stoned. You're not stoned, but really. So the question that you asked him at the beginning, I heard that question, and I want to really echo it.
Yes, what was the question?
Are singles these days really single?
Okay.
Singles these days.
Are we really single? Well, I will be very honest with you. These days we are really, really not single.
Please clarify that thing.
So you know, normally in your time, I will use the phrase in your time. I mean, these are two different generations.
It's okay.
So in your time, when someone says he or she is single, it simply means they are really single. They are not in any romantic relationship.
Okay.
At the time,
okay.
They can have friends. Okay. They can even have crushes. I don't know if there was a thing like that.
Yes, there has always been.
You guys had crushes there. But then they are not committed in a relationship, a romantic relationship. Let's define it, a romantic relationship. But these days we have a lot of complexities when it has to do with relationships. We now even have people who are in relationships and don't know they're in relationships.
Oh no.
Okay. We have people. Yes, because somebody can be dating you and you don't even know
they are being dated.
They are being dated.
Wow.
So you see, back then, if you're not in a relationship, you're not in a relationship.
Okay.
From both ends.
Okay.
But now, I might not be in a relationship, but the next person is in a relationship with me. Do you understand?
You're not in a relationship, but someone is.
But someone is in a relationship with me. Okay, so there are a lot of complexities when it comes to this relationship thing. So when you now ask somebody, are you in a relationship? Some people don't even ask me. I am not in a relationship with anybody, but I don't know for others. Like me in a relationship. So some people are posting joking that If you know you're in a relationship with me now, come and say it now.
In public.
In public, so if you say if we're in a relationship, well, it's relative. Some people are not in a relationship. Some people are in a relationship. They don't know they are in.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. So, how are we doing with the framing?
Yeah, we're fine.
Because I can't see you.
Yes, it's deliberate.
Okay.
I'm the how they should like you people on set now. I'm the extra. I'm the pillar. I'm the pillar. Those
No, we don't need feel like
Oh,
no, other people are saying somebody say preach KJ. I said,
no, I'm speaking the minds of
Yeah.
the youth and trust me, I am their voice here.
And interestingly, we did a poll before the show, and as at the last review, the poll said that 67%. We asked those of you that are single, are you enjoying being single? And we had 67% say yes, they're enjoying their singleness, they're enjoying being single, they're enjoying the liberty, they're enjoying the freedom of being single. So most single people are enjoying their life. So they like the bliss of singleness, of singlehood. Let's put it that way. So what then are the challenges? You talked about the bliss. What are the challenges? What are the blisters of being a single in this our present society, right?
Honestly, if there are any blisters of being single, I would say is the pressure that comes with it.
Pressure from who now?
Peer pressure. The same person that told you, God, am I a stone? Do you understand? We have a lot of them online when those that are in relationship tend to want to oppress the single people. You understand? Posting pictures and videos of themselves and rings, and then the person that is like supposed to be enjoying his or her single life and even thanking God for the gift of being single, because being single is a gift. I keep telling people that. The moment you realize how being single is a gift, and the better for you, the earlier you do that. So for those people, instead for you to enjoy your life, your single life,
your singleness,
prepare yourself for the person that is coming. You are subjecting yourself under peer pressure, under comment, and you are going to be saying God will. Yeah, why some people say it for cruise sake, and they are joking about it.
Yeah.
Some people are serious about it. Okay, and if you check these people that are serious, you find out that some of them have not even gotten their lives right.
Or as in they're not ready, right?
They're not ready.
So even if God decides to say now, they are not ready.
They are not ready.
Since they're asking God when. If God decides to
so God is sitting here and like you're asking God when, and God is like, when you are ready. Because right now you're not ready. Do you understand? So peer pressure is one of the that one is self-inflicting, because really you are the one putting yourself under that pressure. So that I think that's one of the blisters. Other than that, I honestly feel there is more of the bliss being single. And I'm speaking for
Well, I remember that for one thing, it was very easy to just get up and go when I was single, right? So for instance, I have an event to attend somewhere, I'm going, or my friend is getting married in another city. I can just, apart from permission from parents, right? Yeah, that was it. So it's not as if when you're single, you're completely free. If you're still living with your parents, there's somebody still calling some shots in your life. But if you're living on your own completely, I mean, you can do to a great extent what you want. You can make certain decisions. You can take a job anywhere, and you don't have to consider, you don't have to sit down and have a meeting with someone to even say, should I take this job, or should I take this offer, and stuff like that. When you are single, you can just get up and go, hey, it looks good, it's a good opportunity, I want to take it, and up you go. That's it. Everybody else can be informed after the fact. But when you are married, you can't quite do that, because you have to consider everybody. You have to consider the spouse. If you have children, you have to consider that. Are we moving them? We're not moving them. How is this going to affect the dynamics, family dynamics? How is it going to affect the other stakeholders in your life? Because it's not just about you, right? Yeah. So Yes, so that's part of the
bliss.
bliss of being single, that you can be that free and so on.
Well, that can be a bliss for a lot of people, being single. For me personally, I think one of the bliss people should really enjoy the most is your ability to, number one, know yourself, make the mistake. Do you understand? Learn, like, because one of the major problem, I can tell you this for a fact, one of the major problem that we make or we have in this generation is the fact that we do not know ourselves, but then we want others to know us. Like, we want the next person to understand us when we ourselves do not understand ourselves. We don't understand us. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're capable of doing. You don't know your mental state. You don't know you don't know how you react to things. But then you seriously want to go into a relationship. You want to date. Like, it's major for you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
When you don't know if someone gets you angry, if your reaction will be to slap the person. Okay. Do you understand? You don't know yourself, but you want to be in a relationship. So being single affords you that time to, learn a lot about yourself using other relationships that you are in, which is not necessarily not romantic relationship. You have a friend. What's your loyalty like to this friend? Do you understand? What's your response like emotionally to some of us have mental problem? Some of us, we are mad, but we don't know that we are mad. We don't know. Yes, but we shall not enter a relationship. When you enter a relationship, you go in with all these baggages. You understand? You carry them in their numbers, and you enter. And then in some people even go straight to marriage like that. And then in 2 months, 3 months, they're out. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So being single affords you that time to know yourself. That's number one thing. Like, very, very key for me.
Interesting. There's something I'm thinking about at the moment, which is money. How does being single affect money these days? Yes, so turn so that we can see you. They want to see, yes.
You want to see the young man.
Like talking.
How does being single affect? That's another problem. Some people don't even know how to manage finance. They don't know how to. You don't know how to plan your money. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Once money hits your account, the next thing you're thinking of is how to live the luxury life. I'm not saying it's bad, but then you do that to the point where it can now pose as a problem to your partner when you're married. Is the time when you're single not the perfect time to work on?
So I see you're looking at it from the direction of how you manage your funds, right?
Exactly.
And that's valid. There's another part of it, which is spending versus building. Because I know some people want to build, some people say, hey, by the time I am 40 or by the time I'm 35 or by the time I'm so age, I want to have my own house. I want to have this. I want to have that. I want to have this net worth or whatever, right? And when they're single, it's really about them. They can make that decision and run with it, right? But when you're married, you can't make that decision by yourself. Someone else is in the picture. And if it is that you are saying, I can discipline myself, I can curb my expenses, I can live lean, in quotes, so that I can make this money and make it fast or achieve my goal fast. And then you now get married to someone who is saying, you know what, we have to live the life, man. If we are blessed, we have to show that we are blessed, man. You have to drive the fine cars, live in expensive locations, and so on. Fly out during summer like everybody else because we can afford it, And you're just like, how is that? How is that? Do you guys experience those Yes, well, since you're single, you should be telling me of the benefits that you don't have anybody doing that, and you can go ahead and build.
No,
But like people were, like you were saying, are they really building?
Yeah, but I would also argue that that can be a bliss as much as it can also be a blister. What is bliss? Bliss is the benefit. What is blister? Blister is the bonds. Blister is the bonds that come with being single. The fact that you are single, you have some scars of singlehood. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You have been burnt, you have been wounded. There are relationships that didn't go as planned because you understand these are stripes.
Those are scars of relationship.
Yeah, those are scars of relationship. Those are part of the blisters of being single. So we're saying, as much as this may be a bliss, there's also the part where it is a pressure. There's the pressure when singles. So maybe I'll ask the question. You may know, or maybe the ladies that are online can tell us. You may know, ladies online may tell us why is it that we have a good number of people saying we are enjoying our singleness, but why is it that anytime someone online or someone around you, speaks about how there's this guy that has, that is making her feel all that, or there's this lady that's making him feel all that, there's something inside, there's something inside that just turns like, you are happy for the person, but there's a handbrake somewhere that feels like, what do you mean, Ko? Do you understand? So I can testify that people are happy, the singles are happy with being single. But why is it that every time someone else is, testifying about being doubled or getting into, or getting into a relationship where they feel like they are being taken care of, there's some pressure, why does that happen?
Well, we are humans, first of all, and as humans, we have needs. All right.
Yeah.
We have emotional needs. So I won't really blame people who see others having these emotional needs met.
Yeah.
You understand?
Emotional needs, financial needs, social needs.
You get being met. But for you, it's like
there's another need you mentioned.
A humanitarian need.
But for you, it's like God has not answered prayer yet. You understand?
You get it now.
And you are like, God, am I speaking? I get it. It's not bad. We are humans.
Yeah.
First of all, we have that need. But then again, rather than feel like this prayer has not been answered, and put yourself under that undue pressure or start getting yourself worried, why not look at the good part of being single, which are like numerous to mention. Do you get it? Because you can rush and be shouting, God, when am I spoon, am I stone, and you enter into the relationship that will treat you like a stone.
So let me even ask something, because there's the part of rushing and so on. But is it by force that people must be married?
No.
It's easy for you to say now. See, maybe I'm married now. It's easy for you to say.
In this day and time, people are looking for alternatives of marriage. Now, people are looking, if I don't get married, must I get married? So if I don't want to get married, what's the alternative? That's where the idea of baby mama comes in. Do you understand? Okay, I don't want to get married, but I need a child. Why not just speak to this person and like, hey, listen, I don't want to get married to you. I just want a child. I just want cruise. You understand? Now that's
it's not even cruise. I want a child.
I want a child. Now that's the person that needs a child.
That's friends with benefits.
No, it's not totally. Let me learn.
Okay.
That's not totally friends with benefits. That's you having a need for a child and meeting someone to meet that need for you.
Okay.
Now there is another set of people who still want to dodge this whole institution of marriage and be like, see, I just like cruise. I just like to enjoy my life.
Yeah.
I don't want to be tied up by that thing called marriage. Why don't we do something called an open relationship?
Do
you understand? So he goes. You get my point. So people are looking.
When you land, I will come back to this thing. Please continue.
So people are looking for alternatives. Okay. A lot of them. We have celebrities who don't want to get married but want to have a child. They will go and do what's this thing called? This medical
IVF.
And once they have their child, they go. The need has been met. So why am I getting married? So these days and time, before then, being married was one glorious thing. You're looking forward to it. Oh my God, I'm done with school, get a job, get married. These days, progression. It's not like that anymore. A lot of people are like, finish school, get a job, get my child. If marriage, when you get to that point of marriage, you hear it. If the marriage come, you come. If you don't come, we'll find another means. There are a lot of.
Well, is it so hard to find this marriage? Because I mean, is it so hard?
But before we come there, maybe that's where we'll be tying up. There's one kettle
that he opened. That you want.
That I need him to
open a little more.
To let us know. Maybe it's my definition that's not very clear. Please, which one is this open relationship?
So the open relationship. This is a set of.
It's a very honest question.
So open relationship is
the chats are coming up. They say you go explain but they say you are spitting bitter truths, right? So why you are forming the answer? Let me go through some of the comments. They say marriage is not by force. So marriage is not by force. Manessa says, yeah, being single is still the independent phase, as one can make out plans and go by it, being the only cause and effect of his or her goals. But being in a relationship is more than just a single person, right? But now the two different minds and plans and relationships. Now, he also said, I think being in a relationship shouldn't exactly have to affect one's plans or goals, except it's a serious relationship leading to marriage. And it's a plan that will exactly affect. So what Manessa is telling me, Manessa, correct me if I'm wrong, you are telling me that you can be in a relationship, but you know that relationship is not going to marriage, but I don't just need to catch cruise as a single guy while you're on your way to that serious relationship. Manessa, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that what you are saying? Because that will still bring us very close to this arena where we are.
Yes.
Where we're saying, what is the open relationship? Is it an open relationship with side hustle?
The only difference between what Manasseh has said with the actual meaning of open relationship is that the guy in question or the person in question is not being open to the other person. That's just the thing.
In which case, he's in two or more relationships, but he's not telling the other person.
There's more. And then the ideal meaning of an open relationship is your ability to tell this person,
you are not my only.
Yes, you are not my only babe. You are free to go date other people. I'm free to go date other people, but we are still dating.
Is
the both of
I'm sorry. Call me old school, right? Call me old school. There are guys and girls, ladies, singles that are okay with this.
Yes. Oh yes. I have like big time. You see that's like, did this happen in your time? Are you seeing now that there was really nothing. Maybe you guys' definition of an open relationship back then was something simple. Right now,
there was nothing like open relationship back then.
You get. But right now, the whole concept of an open relationship is now it's a guy tells a girl, "I like you, right? But I don't want to be in an open. I don't want to be in a committed relationship with you. But we can be dating. You can date other person."
So that means dating,
like,
dating means something different now for you people.
It means
because if we say I don't understand. I don't want to be, you're not the only person I'm dating. We can be dating, but I don't want to be committed to you. So I thought that dating meant commitment.
No,
So what is dating?
Now,
Is dating drinking tea?
No. Let me tell you why this thing is so. This thing is this way because people have gotten to that point of selfishness. Do you understand? Everyone is looking out for themselves. Do you understand? So people are like, well, with the way heartbreak they did now, with the way breakfast is being shared,
it's being served freely.
Let me help myself. I know I have this emotional need, but at the same time, I need to save myself. Do you understand? Trauma. So rather than put all my eggs in one basket, let me share the eggs.
Let's see which maybe I can have more investments. The eggs, may have so in another basket.
If this one breaks, I know I have brother B or sister A. Do you understand? So it has gotten that bad. Come supporting me too. I'm just telling you the reality of things on ground right now. Do you understand? It has gotten to the point where people will tell me, see, I have set my eggs into a different basket too. But
is that no more work?
It's not
more work to
this is part
maybe they have to put a spreadsheet and put brother A, B, C, D, and then you know how far you progress in your discussion with this one. And then
sorry, somebody online. Richard says, KJ, please speak for yourself.
No. Let me point this out. I am not saying this is right.
Yeah, but you're saying it's happening.
I'm saying it is happening. I'm saying what I have seen. It is happening.
So, Babi, drop your point. Let me the point you're trying to make.
What I wanted to say is that I saw a post of a certain lady who picked up a phone when it rang and then said hello and what did she say? Oh, she called. She was the one who called. She made the call and then she now said to the person, I don't want to go out with you again. Something. You know. So she was breaking up with the guy, and then after she broke up with the guy and she called the call, she now found out that she did this kind of breakup where you just say what you want to say and cut the call. So she now found out that it's the wrong guy she called.
It's the wrong guy she called.
It's actually the guy she wanted to continue the relationship with that she called because there are too many, right? So she was confused. So this is what I'm saying: confusion. I don't think I personally believe there's no. This is not the best way to do things. It's not. No, wait now. Wait first. It's not. It doesn't look efficient. Do you understand? It's like you're trying to build a house, but you don't have all the resources to build 5 houses, right? But you want to build 5 at the same time. So you start doing foundation, and then you start doing. You're just trying to do a little here, little there, so that the 5 projects are going on simultaneously. Meanwhile, you have sufficient resources for, let's say, one project. So the opportunity or the chance of you making mistakes, errors, and stuff like that building that somebody once tried to deliver to us that was supposed to be 3 bedroom, and somehow it was 2 rooms. They could not find the 3rd one.
Somebody has started, they are building up 3-bedroom project, building up, and somehow when we came to do inspection, we can't find 1 room. So which plan did he use to build the house?
Thanks to trying to do many projects at the same time.
But you see that's the thing that he was speaking about the fact that a number of people that want to be in a relationship don't necessarily they don't even know themselves well enough to say that I want to get into a relationship right now, but you don't know. So what plan are you using to get into that relationship? So it tells me about this. So this whole bliss and blister thing just tells you that there are many wahala on both sides of the divide. You understand? So as a single person, you have like, let me speak maybe for the ladies now, because we haven't had the number of ladies call in recently. It's like the ladies are a bit shy to be quoted, so they would rather chat. So we have a lot of ladies chatting. But the question for a lady, for example, that has 3 guys pulling at you. Do you understand? That's what I'm trying to understand the open relationship concept. I think we will open up maybe a show on this open relationship. Maybe we'll take one Saturday and talk about this open relationship, because it's like there are many facets to it. But like a lady that has 3 guys, you know, trying to ask her out at the same time, is it wise then for her to say to guy 1, you are not the only one? Is it wise? As a single, would you do that?
They are asking her out. She's not in a relationship.
Exactly. She's not in a relationship. That's not open relationship.
That's not open relationship.
Open relationship is she has said yes to all of them.
So here's the thing about here's another thing.
It sounds like trial and error.
I think that really, should I say, gets me annoyed about relationship these days, or it's just that. Okay. Now, people go into relationship these days. This is my problem with people who are supposed to sit down and enjoy their single life, who just want to jump into relationships. People go into relationships these days with a divorce mentality.
If it doesn't work, I'll jump out.
I'll jump out. Nobody's going into relationships to build it. Do you understand? Like, you're not training yourself for marriage, like for a long-lasting marriage. You are training yourself for I'm putting this hiccup here. You understand? When you get here, when this, and I know some of us call it red flags. I'm not saying red flags are bad, but once we just see one small red flags, we jump the ship and we are out. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So people are not going into relationship to, okay, I've understood myself to this point. Let's say I've known myself 70%, and I feel, oh yeah, I think it's time for me to go into a relationship. This is me, a brother. A sister also comes in. Do you understand? A sister who also has same mentality. I've gotten myself to this point. I think it's time for me to get into a relationship. Both come together. We understand our flaws. We understand where our shortcomings are. Do you understand? And we are willing to build each other to that point of quote and unquote perfection. Do you understand? But now people don't even want any small person is jumping. So people are not going into relationship to build. Like, I don't know if you get my point.
Yeah, I think like we don't have time for stress.
Exactly. So
is it not part of the whole
But I feel like with some things you've shared, you guys are giving yourselves a lot more stress.
Yes.
Because I mean, managing 5, 4, 3, 2 relationships at the same time is a lot of stress. And the fact is that when you are in a relationship, there's a level of commitment, a level of attention. Even if you say you're not 100% committed to this person, the person still expects certain things from you, and all these things are draining, right? So it feels like the priorities have been misplaced. The way the position is not the way it's meant to be. Like you're putting the cart before the horse, like they put it. So if you go the should I say normal way, the old-fashioned way, which I feel it was more efficient, you would spend time, right? Minimal time with each person, trying to figure out what kind of person is this person. Like you said, know yourself, right? When you know yourself, then you know the kind of person you want, kind of person that will fit you. Then you spend minimal time screening people up front to know, is this person worth my time? So let's say there are 5 people that are in your space. You're not going to go and start being in relationships with all of them, where all of them are expecting birthday card, all of them are expecting you should show up for their event, all of them are expecting you to come when their grandfather dies, all of that. That's too much drain. Filter, this one, our beliefs are not aligned. Out. This other one, I want to go to Japan. He wants to stay in the village. Out. This, you screen, and then you now come to this one. Maybe these two look like it. So you now do a little more screening. Maybe have a non-romantic outing to find out a little more about this person, a little more about that person. Then you now screen and you come down to one, right? Or sometimes for a lady, the decision is not really yours because someone has to ask. So maybe you screen to the point where you're saying, okay, between these 2 people, if both of them are okay. If anyone asks, I'm cool, right? And then eventually maybe one of them asks, and then you go ahead. So, and then when you have said yes to a relationship, then you can now, the extra pool of affection, attention, time, and so on, commitment that is required, you are able to supply and you're not drained. Because honestly, relationship is a part of your life. And if you are spreading yourself thin, you're spreading yourself, you'll be less effective and it will affect other aspects of your life.
Yes. To say to this, I would really honestly, I'm not trying to do a marketing or marketing anything. But honestly, people should pick up husband material and read it. I'm being very serious. Because in this subject of knowing yourself, when I read husband material, by the way, guys, husband material was written by in this subject of knowing yourself as a single person. When I read husband material, I discovered that you knew what you wanted. You knew yourself. You knew what you wanted. You outlined what you wanted. Do you understand? So it was easy for you to screen out the one that was not aligning to you. This one, I love you. I feel you. You can go. Do you understand? Some people don't even know their temperaments. Do you understand? People know these things, but they want to be in a relationship. And I keep telling people, there was a guy when I was in school. The guy just every time, why you do now? Why girls they always like you like this? Do you understand? I'm like, bro, forget about girls. Concentrate on yourself. Do you understand? Because if you finally meet this girl now, what do you have to offer? You get so a lot of people want they want to enter. In fact, let me tell you the truth. If you check people's status from Monday to Friday, people's WhatsApp status, 70% of what they post, some people I'm not going to say, is about relationship. This person wants to go into relationship. This person is talking about relationship. But when you check this person has, some
things that are not set, right? That would make someone run, even if they come into your life. Yeah, and that's part of the issue, because part of the bliss of
KJ, sorry, KJ, you're spitting lyrical, man. We have people here asking for your number. They said to me that please, does anyone have this guy's number? You can maybe you drop his handle before he jumps up, so you can catch him. You can catch him
on IG.
On IG, yes. You can catch him on IG. Yeah. So go ahead.
So I was saying, part of the bliss of being single is the time that you have to build and to develop yourself, right? You can sit down and say, I want to become professional in so and so, and you devote your time and attention to it, and you do it. You can say, I have noticed that I am not good in communicating with large groups of people. I'm going to devote my time and focus to doing that. So you can decide, I'll join this group, or I'll join the other department, or I'll do this and that, so that you build on that skill, right? But if you are busy sitting down, pining and whining because you're not in a relationship, you're losing out, because you're not even using the time to make yourself better. You know how you level up, so that the kind of person you attract into your life is a better quality person. I always say, yes, we write lists. Yes, we say, I want the person to have this, that. But I always say, make it a fair deal, meaning you to develop yourself, so that by the time the person comes, it is like, you're cool, I'm cool. Wow. Not the person is cool and the person is scratching their ear. Their English is not very straight. So their certificate is just it's third class. Do you understand? So it's not a part. Develop.
I would stretch that this last point you just made. I would stretch it to the point where sometimes as people we have to learn to not complain for the things that we allow. Because a number of things that you complain about, You saw them at first, but because of maybe what you wanted to get or something, you overlooked that. And then when you have now got that you wanted to get, then this other part that was always there, well, it was always there. This other part that was always there now comes up, and then it becomes something you are complaining about. And that's why we talk about what's your plan? How are you making these choices as a single? How are you making choices of who you marry? How are you making choices of what you do with your life while you are waiting if you want to get married? If you say, I don't want to marry, like we established at the beginning of the show, I don't want to get married by no wahala. Do you understand? It becomes a case of how are you going to live your life while you're not married? I know sometimes there was something someone sent to me. Maybe I'll play it before you give your final thoughts, right? Something someone said to me, and I said this actually applies.
The reason why some women cannot marry, their men are broke. Stand up. You never plan to marry.
I don't plan. No.
What did they hold you?
No money.
Somebody there when they hire you, but he broke.
Hello, Papa.
And they hear you.
You answer, say, guy, why you never marry? If God tell you, say, he never get money to marry. Good. But you dey enjoy gay.
Did you get that? So a lot of times you ask the single guys, why you never marry? No, is the money issue comes up. I'm broke. I don't have money. But like this person said this to me, I was just laughing all around, right? I was laughing all around, and I'm saying, this person said this to me, and I'm saying, it's true. You say, why you never marry? I don't get money. But somehow, you don't get money to commit to one relationship. But somehow you have enough resources to spread, to be catching cruise with 3 or 4, 5 relationships, feeling cool all around town. So how does that work as a single? Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's about these priorities that we talk about. It's about these plans. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's about this, what we want to do with ourselves.
Yeah.
How do you add it up? I don't have money to get married, but I have money to be catching cruise.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of people who are not committing to you and who do not plan to do life with you will just try to make the most of you, right? For the short term. So if you have money, they will try to enjoy your money as much as possible. Whatever it is they can get from you, they will try to get it from you because they're not thinking of building you. They're not thinking of building with you. They're thinking of enjoying whatever it is you have to offer and then moving on to whatever they desire for their future. So, yeah. So, do yourself.
Your final thoughts.
Yes,
maybe one or two or 3 high points from like a recap or something.
My final thoughts: do yourself a favor. Don't spread yourself thin.
Is this spread?
Don't spread yourself thin. Please, just take your time to know yourself, to know the kind of person that will work for you. You know, put all your energy and resources into filtering and then committing to one relationship, right? That will end in marriage and so on. And yes, you may be vulnerable. Yes, somebody may break your heart. Yes, they can walk away. And so what? Move on. Take some time to heal and move on. It's not the end of the world. So don't say because I want to avoid heartbreak, so I will love 5 people at the same time, and then you now become scattered. It's like your water is spread all over the place.
You love
Doesn't
5 people
help.
at the same time and now have 5 different pieces of the heart.
5 different pieces of the heart. Anyway, thank you very much, KJ, for being our guest today and for speaking so truly and factually and saying it as it is, and of course helping a lot of people to understand what life is as a single today. Thank you so much for being our guest on the show, and thanks to my darling husband for joining us too. So that's part of the bliss of
Oh man, I hope you are going to talk about the Bliss and Blisters.
That next week. So guys,
Please.
next week come and hear the other side, the Bliss and the Blisters.
because like when we're setting up for this show, some people had to get up and go and prepare their own food, while some other people, their food was brought.
The bliss of marriage and the bliss of singles. Because I was working in the office. I was working, and my own food came and met me.
Yes. Hallelujah.
In tray.
Amen.
I must mention the food met me in tray, as in it came with tray. So it wasn't just the carry plate and put in your hand or give you party pack. The food came in tray. And I didn't have to stand up, so I just from work, finished eating, and the tray moved. I mean, what else can I say? Why the singles have to, singly
move themselves,
go and get their food and eat it singly on a single plate.
Yes.
The plate was single because there was no attachment. My own came with attachment. There was plate, there was side. It didn't come alone, but the single plate is usually alone because I have to put everything, including the stew, inside the same plate. Do you understand? But my own
it is well, Gary. So next week, the Bliss and Blisters of being married, right?
Yeah,
that's next week. Yes, thank you so much, everyone, for being with us today on Common Sense for Relationships.
Please,
subscribe, share,
like. We want to appreciate all those people that subscribed in the last week. We saw you guys. We saw quite a number of people this week.
Yes.
And they are coming on the show. So we thank you. We don't take it for granted. We appreciate you, and please keep coming.
Yes.
Keep coming so that you can get the common sense you need for life and relationships.
And like we say, remember, common sense is not. Bye. It's up for us. Yes. Dari, I see you. Bamidele. He's in a pod. Wow.
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope you got great value today. Our goal is to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and relationships. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, and like.
Welcome to Common Sense Updates. So, we got a couple of things. For instance, you need to engage up front. Very important. Because sometimes people wait and come to their parents in quotes after the fact and just say, hey, this is the person I want to marry, and at that point